Hello, welcome again to Palm Beach Senior Chat. My name is Marina Ramirez and I'm with Assisting Hands Palm Beach. Today we're going to be talking about how to help your family's financial and emotional needs at the sad time when you pass. With me here today is Tom Perez from Dignity Memorial.
Hi, Marina. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being
Welcome, Tom. Welcome to Palm Beach Senior Chat. We're delighted to have you.
Thank you.
So, tell me, Tom, why is pre-planning for your funeral services so important?
Well, Marina, nobody wants to plan for their funeral. That's something that life is by far one of our most precious. By far one of our most precious commodities. And so when we think about death, it's a difficult thing to sit down and think you're going to pre-plan for your own funeral. But the fact remains is that it's absolutely necessary, especially when you want to protect your family. And so we need to take that into account with regards to protecting our loved ones at that difficult moment, which is already the most difficult time or moment of their life possibly. And so that you don't want to burden them at that time with doing all the final disposition arrangements and also burdening them with the costs that comes attached with that.
Well, you and I have spoken before, and we have said this is your final gift to your family.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
You're relieving not only the financial burden, but the emotional burden.
The emotional burden, and just getting all those questions answered way in advance as to what exactly your wishes were. Why would you want to burden your family afterwards, after the fact, with wondering, did I do what they wanted? Is this exactly what they would have
Correct.
wanted? And that's a heavy load to carry.
It is for many families. How does Dignity Memorial and other funeral services help families in this difficult moment?
Well, in many different ways. Dignity Memorial, just so you're aware, is the largest cemetery and funeral organization in the United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, and Hawaii. We're almost 2,700 locations. Now, what does that do for a family? It gives you the peace of mind where you have the flexibility of portability. You can take your pre-arrangement that you've done with Dignity Memorial, and you can take it with you to any of our locations should you move away out of state. You're not confined to this one small family-owned funeral home or parlor that took your monies for an arrangement. You can take that with you anywhere.
So we've spoken about the financial burden on the family. Why can't people just use their life insurance in the case that they have that?
Well, I myself was shocked to learn that 9 out of 10 life insurance policies don't pay out. And that's shocking. It's a shocking figure, but it's a reality because of either the person disqualifies for some reason or they've actually used up their funds for medical treatment and care for their loved one prior to their death. So figuring that, I won't bother with taking care of these funeral and cemetery prearrangements because I've got this life insurance money coming, that is really not a smart way to go because those funds could be dried up by the time you need it. Not only that, if there were any funds available for that prearrangement, what will happen is that money doesn't pay out right away. There's going to be months sometimes before you even see that money, and the funeral home and the cemetery needs that money right away for them to move forward with the arrangements.
I understand. Will pre-planning affect Medicare and Medicaid coverage?
Well, actually, that's a very good question, and this is a point that we highlight in our information that we provide to our families, where it states clearly that if you plan to apply for Medicaid assistance for yourself or a loved one, a prearranged funeral agreement can be extremely beneficial in meeting your needs. And in many states, including Florida, a prearranged funeral or cremation service funded by a life insurance may be treated as an exempt asset from Medicaid qualification purposes. So this allows you to be able to prearrange the service you desire while still maintaining your assistance eligibility, so you can make it irrevocable.
That's very important. And are there financial benefits to pre-planning rather than waiting for the future occasion?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because when you pre-plan, you're locking in the cost of that cemetery funeral arrangement in today's prices. You're not paying what it's going to cost when you need it. It could be 30, 40 years from now. Why would you want to burden your family with that extreme expense at such a difficult time? So when you're making your first initial payment, you're locking in that price and you're paying only for that price. That's in stark contrast from many organizations out there that offer funeral cemetery pre-planning packages where they do more of a cooperative type thing where they have every member of the family, a minimum of 6 or 7, pay in $20, $30 a month for life. And you start doing the math, that's an exorbitant amount of money. And then all you get is a minimum benefit at the time of need, and then the family still continues to pay and pay and pay. With Dignity Memorial, you're only locking in the price that it costs today, you're only paying for that, and you're structuring your monthly payment so that it fits comfortably in your pocket for a short period of time as you're paying only that off.
Are there financial planning to defer the cost, say for 12 months or 24 months?
Yes, you can actually do that. Actually, we don't recommend extending it too long because you have the option of being able to pay it outright. You can pay it within 90 days, a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, depending on your age, of 15 years. And you can actually insure your pre-arrangement.
Okay.
So that after your very first small payment, should something befall you the very next day, your entire pre-planned arrangement is covered by your insured plan.
Very good. And what sets Dignity Memorial apart from other funeral providers?
Well, we like to call it the dignity difference. And that being that not only are we an organization that has repeatedly won the presidential J.D. Powers Award for service.
Very good.
We do have the fact that we offer additional benefits to the families to protect them and nurture their progress and healing after they've lost a loved one. For instance, we offer free for 13 months to the family what's called our Compassion Hotline. Okay. You have access 24/7 to a PhD bereavement counselor.
Okay.
To give you that comfort, you and your family, the comfort that they need and the help they need for 13 months for free.
Unlimited?
Unlimited.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's an amazing benefit because why? We care about the families. We need to make sure that they heal, that they're comforted, that they have the relief and the help that they need to help them be able to then be reintroduced back into society and function again because it's a struggle.
It's a loss.
It is a big loss. Another thing is that we do offer bereavement travel assistance because when something happens suddenly and others need to travel from other states and distances, we offer guidance and assistance to them and sometimes maybe discount rates for their travel to be able to make it for their service. We do offer them, each family gets a personal planning guide, which is something that they would fill out when they're pre-planning. They would fill this out and keep this in a safe place where the family knows where it is. And it would have your personal instructions for them, what things need to be closed out, what people should be notified, maybe even information about your genealogy and your background. You know, what was your great-grandmother's maiden name? These are things that it's good for the family to know that doesn't get lost when someone passes. We also offer, like I mentioned, national transferability because we're the largest, 2,700 locations.
All 50 states?
Yes. It's amazing. The mass majority of the people in the United States are within 8 miles of a Dignity Memorial location. So, which is great. It includes Hawaii, Canada, and Puerto Rico. So that in itself is fantastic. You think about it. If you make a pre-arrangement or make an arrangement or payment to a local funeral parlor that's just family owned, that's just in that area, you're confined to have to do your arrangement with them. And you'd think, well, what if I want to move to another state or live with my grandchildren later or my rest of my family? You've lost that ability to be able to have that arrangement go through. Also, you hope that family is still in business when you pass. So these are things that completely eliminates that concern when you make a pre-arrangement with a Dignity Memorial location. Something else that we offer, which I thought was fantastic and really drew me to this company when I started working with them, because I care about families. And when I see a company that shows this level of care, even beyond this person, this individual, is they offer what's called the child and grandchild coverage. In other words, if you do a pre-arrangement for yourself, your child, your grandchild, your great-grandchild, even after your death, is covered for free up to the age of 21 should anything tragic befall them and they're not married. So they would receive your exact same coverage and protection, same funeral arrangement for them. So what does that tell you? You're dealing with a company that cares about families. They know what it is to suffer a loss, and they don't see the reason why we want to impact someone unnecessarily when they have to deal with a tragic loss like that.
Well, thank you so much, Tom. It's a pleasure having you here today. It's a difficult subject.
Yes, it is.
But it's one that we all need to be aware of.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's a reality of life, and like you say, it's a gift to our loved ones.
And one last benefit that I wanted to mention,
Please.
that that we do offer is travel protection.
Okay.
If you find yourself traveling in another country, a lot of people they miss out on traveling around the world because they're scared of, well, what if something happens to me over there?
So what happens?
If you include travel protection in your pre-arrangement plan with Dignity Memorial, we see to it that we bring you home for your arrangement for free.
Okay.
No matter where you are on Earth, whether as long as it's not a war zone, so stay out of Afghanistan and Iraq or anything. But if you're anywhere else on Earth, we get you home safe. We'll cover all the expenses of that funeral home that brought you into their care, and we take care of the expense of dealing with customs and shipping you back home.
Very good. Well, thank you. Thanks again, Tom.
You're welcome.
And thanks everybody for watching Palm Beach Senior Chat.